Ever dream of having the power to reverse time? Well, our high school girl Takamine-san can do just that. But there's a twist. Her secret weapon? She has to strip to make it happen. Shirota is your classic underdog. He's not great at sports, struggles in his studies, and is practically invisible to his classmates with 0 friends to his name. On the flip side, there's Takamine, the school's ultimate star, acing both academics and athletics effortlessly. The only common ground they share is that they've attended the same elementary, middle, and now high school. During a lunch break, Shirota sneaks into the gym storage to kill some time. Suddenly, the door creaks open, and in walks Takamine. Shirota wonders why she's there, but his curiosity intensifies when she starts to undress. Trying to be respectful, he turns away, battling the urge to peek. His willpower falters, and he sneaks a quick look, only to be stunned by her lack of a bra. Did she forget? He wonders, but quickly dismisses the thought, knowing Takamine wouldn't make such a mistake. Back in class, the teacher starts handing out test papers. Shirota is thrilled to get a 52 hey he passed. Meanwhile, the class is shocked when Takamine scores a 98 instead of her usual perfect score. She questions the teacher, but they confirm there's no grading error. Takamine stands up, and something shocking happens. As she removes her underwear, there's a flash, and the teacher hands back Shirota's test. Confused, he remembers already receiving it, but soon realizes he's not dreaming. Astonishingly, Takamine's score changes back to a perfect 100. Perplexed, Shirota approaches Takamine. He mentions seeing her 98 score. Her expression darkens and she asks if he's told anyone. Nervously, he says no. She scolds herself for being careless, then pins him against the wall, clarifying she's not talking about the test. She hands him a cup of water, which he spills. As he bends to clean, she unbuttons her shirt, and there's another flash. This time, the water spills over Takamine. Shirota quickly helps, but can't shake the confusion. Takamine then guides his hand to her chest, revealing her powers. She explains her ability, the Eternal Virgin Road, allows her to undo actions by removing her underwear, but each time someone sees her naked, their memory of events remains. Shirota, perplexed, asks why she has such a power. Takamine recounts a 5th grade relay, where, after changing her underwear due to an embarrassing accident, she magically found herself in 1st place instead of 2nd. From then on, she believed her power was meant to keep her on top. Takamine demands Shirota become her personal closet, carrying spare underwear since her power makes them vanish with each use. Shocked and unwilling, Shirota refuses, fearing it would make him her slave. Takamine attempts to persuade him, arguing that it's an honor for a nobody like him. As Shirota tries to leave, she trips him, and he falls on top of her. She screams, attracting their classmates who mistakenly believe Shirota was up to no good. Cornered, he agrees to her proposal to avoid the fallout. Takamine uses her power to reset events, reinstating Shirota as her personal closet. The next day, Takamine gives Shirota a bag of her underwear, instructing him to carry it at all times. He's now responsible for replacing them immediately after she uses her power, regardless of where they are. Overwhelmed, Shirota protests, but Takamine threatens to expose their earlier incident if he doesn't comply. Back in class, Takamine reads a passage perfectly, but uses her power to improve her performance further. Shirota realizes the daunting frequency of her power use. She signals him mid-class, but he hesitates, thinking he'll wait until break. Undeterred, she raises her skirt, forcing Shirota to comply immediately. They manage to pull it off without being noticed. As the class ends, Shirota, relieved, notices he only pulled her underwear halfway up. Panicking, he intervenes as Takamine is called to the front, discreetly fixing the rest. She makes a small noise but dismisses it as nothing. In the student council room, she admits testing Shirota's loyalty and asks if he's protecting her because he cares. Flustered, he changes the topic. Later, Takamine is asked to take worksheets to the prep room, and other students offer help, which she declines using her power. Takamine signals Shirota, disappointed he wasn't proactive. She reminds him that as her closet, he must always be by her side. While heading to the prep room, students swarm around Takamine. Shirota, surprised by the attention she garners, asks if it's exhausting to always have people wanting to talk to her. Takamine responds that it's actually something she's proud of and enjoys. She shocks Shirota by recounting how she remembers names, faces, and even mental profiles of everyone in the school, revealing how observant and sharp she truly is. Curious, Shirota asks if she knows anything about him, even though he thinks of himself as practically invisible. Takamine then starts rattling off his personal details, including his internet browsing history, all while teasingly calling him a closet pervert. She knows he's secretly fascinated by her looks, but is too shy to openly show it. Feeling embarrassed, Shirota tries to defend himself with excuses, but Takamine cuts him off by kicking him down the stairs. Then, she gets in front of him and provocatively asks what if she allowed him to look at her body anytime he wanted. With her words and actions getting more suggestive, Shirota panics and tells her to stop messing with him. Flustered, he admits that he'd only want to look at her that way if they were dating. Takamine laughs, pondering if he believes he has a chance to date her. Shirota quickly tries to backtrack on his words, but Takamine reassures him it's not a bad thought. Confused and trying to understand her mixed signals, Shirota slips again. When he wakes up, his head is resting on Takamine's thighs. Startled, he jumps up, asking what happened. She explains that he fell and hurt himself, so she used her power to undo his fall, but he was still knocked out, so she brought him to the nurse's office. Smiling, she playfully tells him that since she used her power, she isn't wearing anything underneath at that moment. She makes sure Shirota knows his head was in a very intimate place, teasing him once more. Takamine's thoughts about Shirota shift too. She sees him either as a sexually frustrated virgin trying to act like a gentleman, or as someone who is genuinely kind but too naive for his own good. As Shirota continues to rest his head, she reminds him of her power's rules. And so, the awkward yet intriguing relationship between Shirota and Takamine begins. Don't make Takamine-san strip in vain. Hit that subscribe button and join our crazy manga adventures.